cold out there tonight, but hey, we're going to start with some good news here in the Weather Center. Today, 4 o'clock this afternoon, just about 4:11 to be exact, the midpoint of winter, so we are halfway there, folks. I know January felt like 2 months in and of itself, but February is, of course, going to go quicker mathematically because we've got less days, and I think we're starting to kind of just taste a little bit of spring in the air every now and then. You know, it was 45 degrees here in Providence this afternoon. It felt really great this morning, but then the wind started kicking in this afternoon, and it was a brief reminder that, hey, it's still winter. Look at these cold temperatures. We're down into the 30s right now and starting to see wind chills in the 20s across the board as the wind will continue to persist through tomorrow morning. There is that colder air. You can see it in the pinker color here. That's all heading in our direction, and that's going to settle on in tonight, setting the stage for a messy start to our Thursday. Here's our next storm system right now in Northern California and Oregon. It's going to eventually redevelop over the Rockies and head in our direction pretty quickly, I might add. It's a very active jet stream. We're just going to get these systems shot at us, and they will not be sticking around very long. But when they do, depending on the time of day that they fall and exactly where the storm center does move, we could be talking about any different type of precipitation. So this one, we're going to get kind of everything. We start as snow. We eventually turn over to sleet and rain for most of the area. Some of us might stay snow a little bit longer for the areas further north. We'll show you in a second on Futurecast. When is it going to start? Probably right around sunrise, especially in Rhode Island, a little bit later over in Massachusetts, southeast Mass, of course, the Berkshires. And if you're heading up towards places like Worcester and Springfield, they're going to be getting in on this much, much earlier than that. And if you're commuting in those locations, that's something you have to take into account. When will the worst be? That's, of course, an important question, right? The onset of the storm probably is going to start as a nice little thump of snow right up through, say, midday, noon, 11 a.m., maybe 1 p.m. at the latest, depending on where you are. Again, that depends on that. But that will be sort of the 4-hour window that you get across the area. And then it's going to start tapering down pretty quickly. It will be ending mid to late afternoon. And that's why I mentioned before that hopefully we can get the morning commute and the PM commute to go off without too much of a hitch out there. But we do have the winter weather advisory, all of Rhode Island except for Block Island, and in southeast Mass we've got Bristol and Plymouth counties, the Cape and the islands not in it as well. So again, very cold tonight, temperatures in the teens, wind chills may drop as low as the single digits. So bundle up out there tomorrow morning. We've got a lot of sunshine for your Wednesday, but another pretty cold event here as we're barely getting to 30 degrees. Cold air again on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. We once again see the temperatures briefly dropping into the teens. Clouds start moving in, and the temperatures actually start rising ahead of the storm system, but it will be cold enough at the onset for that snow, again, developing in the morning hours after the sun comes up. Here we are. Kind of looks like what do they call it? A rainbow cookie here, a Neapolitan ice cream. We've got the snow layer, we've got the sleet layer, and then we've got the rain. So the shore, of course, will change over first. That'll happen, say, about midday, and we could be dealing with that messy, wintry mix right onto the center of our area into the early afternoon. And eventually, again, the precip is going to taper off very quickly, but we could get a quick slushy inch or two across the area. Wouldn't be surprised to see upwards of 3 in some of the higher elevations and some of the further northern spots across the area. It's just going to be a mess out there. And we get a break Friday into Saturday, and then another storm with the very same or very similar attributes to it in both the type of precip and the timing here. The only difference is instead of going from night to day, we're kind of going from day to night with this one. So it's going to be snow through the overnight, but once the sun comes up on Sunday, likely get a change over to sleet and eventually rain as well. And that should be out of here by lunchtime. So everybody that has Super Bowl plans, we should be looking at dry weather at that point. And then the cold air comes back in for next week. And it looks like, this week we had plenty of temperatures in the 40s. That doesn't look like the case next week. It looks like we're going to be in the 30s every day, and who knows if that comes along with more opportunities for snow.
Those kind of storms, though, are the worst, in my opinion. Just the mix of everything. It's the snow, it's the rain, it's the sleet. It's like one or the other you can deal with, but when they're all mixed in, mishmashed in, I guess is a better way to say it.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on, especially trying to drive in that.
Yeah, it's going to be a slop sink out there, especially because you get that snow. Oh, it's nice and pretty, and then it starts getting wet and slushy, and you can't even shovel it at that point, and it's annoying to walk in. Do I wear boots? Do I wear regular shoes?
Get it together, Mother Nature.
Yeah, not going to be a fun day out there.
What a mess. All right.